Hello everyone. So for today's video, we're gonna continue our C++ programming language. And now, our topic is all about arrays. C++ provides a data structure, the array, which stores a fixed size sequential collections of elements of the same type. An array is used to store a collection of data, but it is often more useful to think of an array as a collection of variables of the same type. Instead of declaring individual variables such as number 0, number 1, and until number 99, you declare one array variable such as numbers in use, numbers index of 0, numbers index of 1, and numbers index of 99. To represent individual variables, a specific element in array is accessed by an index. All arrays consist of contiguous memory locations. The lowest address corresponds to the first element and the highest address to the last element. So right here, the concept and the description of arrays. First, multidimensional arrays. C++ supports multidimensional arrays. The simplest form of the multidimensional array is the two-dimensional array. Second, pointer to an array. You can generate a pointer to the first element of an array by simply specifying the array name without any index. Our third, passing arrays to functions. You can pass to the function a pointer to an array by specifying the array's name without an index. And lastly, return array from functions. C++ allows a function to return an array. And so, the concept of array is very important, because an array is a collection of elements of the same type placed in contiguous memory locations that can be individually referenced by using an index to a unique identifier. Declaring arrays. To declare an array in C++, the programmer specified the type of the elements and the number of elements required by an array as follows. So just like this, type array name and then the array size inside of this bracket. So this is called a single dimension array. The array size must be an integer constant greater than 0 and type can be any valid C++ data type. For example, to declare a 10-element array called balance of type double, use this statement. So here, the example, double balance, and inside of this bracket has 10 elements. Initializing arrays. You can initialize C++ array elements either one by one or using a single statement as follows, just like this. Another example of initializing arrays. Double balance, and of course, the elements are inside of it. And that inside of braces is the value of these 5 elements. The number of values between braces cannot be larger than the number of elements that we declare for the arrays between square brackets. So, following is an example to assign a single element of the array. If you omit the size of the array, an array just big enough to hold the initialization is created. Therefore, if you write just like this. So, by creating exactly the same array as you did in the previous example, and also just like this, double balance, and then the index of 4 equal 50.0. And then, the above statement assigns element number 5 in the array a value of 50.0. Array with 4th index will be 5th. For example, last element because all arrays have 0 as the index of their first element, which is also called base index. Following is the pictorial representations of the same array we discussed above. So here, the balance, so the index 1 is the 100.0, and the index 2 is 2.0, and the index 3 is the 3.4, and the index of 4 is 7.0, and the last index has 50.0. Accessing array elements. An element is accessed by indexing the array name. This is done by placing the index of the element within square brackets after the name of the array. For example, double salary is equal to balance the index of 9. So, just look at the example. That is the example of accessing arrays element. As to be followed of this accessing array elements, guys, we need to create an example of this program code. So firstly, I create an accessing array elements having a 10 index inside of it with a primitive data type of integer. And followed by the initialization elements of array, which is integer of 10. Then I create a for loop. And followed by the value, which is 5. And this we call set element at locations a to a plus 5. And so here we print out our element. So at this 18th line, this we call the output each array element value. So I created a for loop again to give the output of this each array element's value. And so I printed out the element, which is our v. It represents the 10 elements, and then followed by the value r, and then we put the v inside, and then done, and return it into 0. So now we are done of this program code of our accessing array elements. So we compile it and run. So here are the results. And now guys, this is the end of our topic. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Keep safe, God bless, and see you on the next video.